So what I wanted to talk about is maths. When a child struggles with maths, the reason is not necessarily in what the child is struggling with. As you know, maths is layered. Mathematical skill is layered. And if your child is struggling with maths, the most likely thing is that there is an underlying kind of understanding that isn't there. So you need to look through the underlying skills to see where there is a gap. And if you struggle with division, for example, the underlying gap could be in multiplication, because division is reversed multiplication. But it could be further down, because multiplying is essentially adding. It's adding the same amount again and again and again. And so it could be in adding. It could even be further down. It could be in the idea of consequence, meaning that when you add something, let's say I've got 2 fingers here and I've got 3 fingers there. Now, how many fingers do I have? Yeah, you can see that there are 5, right? But are they 5 or are they still 2 and 3? So what's the difference between 2 and 3 and 5? It's picturing them or understanding them as a single group of 5 instead of 2 groups of 2 and 3. And what is it that changes a group of 2 and 3 into a group of 5? In this case, it's the location. They are separate, and you imagine the gap between them to be kind of a division or a boundary between 2 groups. Now the boundary is gone. You could equally change it like this. Now there's the same space between them, so it's not a gap between them, but there are 2 horizontal and 3 vertical. So again, you could see them as 3 and 2, or you could see them as 5. This is actually a function of the concept of order. Order is when things are in their proper place, here or there, proper position, there or there, or proper condition. What about this? What's the difference now? The fingers are still there, but they are in a different condition. You could say a different position as well, but the condition, 3 straight ones and 2 bent ones. Or in fact, why do we not count these 2? Because they are bent. They're in a different condition. So place, position, and condition are 3 key concepts of order that underpin mathematical thinking. So order is clearly a key concept in mathematical thinking. So is consequence. 2 plus 3 ends up being 5 if you add them together. And whenever you use the word if, you're using the concept of consequence. And of course, underlying all of that is focus. You need to notice the change. You need to understand the change. And you need to pay attention. Like, have you ever seen a child count like this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it wasn't 5. It was 4. They are not kind of clocking each finger as they are counting it. And that's because they've lost their focus. So whenever you lose your focus, you're going to struggle with maths. And any of the confusion that I've gone through in this discussion is an element of confusion. So you need to find the underlying confusion and address the underlying confusion, fill in the gaps, and then there will be a domino effect. And then the ability to learn the higher level functions and solving the more complex math problems will become much easier. If you don't do that, then you're going to be struggling with trying to build on a shaky foundation. You need to get the foundation right. If you like this, please subscribe and follow and like in order for me to justify making more of this content. Thank you.